You know, the last few bosses really haven't been happy to see us. I hope this next guy is beaming. Alright, so our next stage, and the last of the initial batch of stages. Again, you can go to these stages on the right side if you want to, but Alia will be like, hey, you don't need to be here, we don't need anything from here. Alright, so the artist formerly known as Izzy Glow has a really good song. Shining Firefly's theme is very good. Oh, sorry, Dr. Firefly, we should call him. Look, he didn't go to school for all those years to be called Shining. He's Dr. Firefly to you. So yes, it seems this is one of the bosses who is not necessarily Maverick, but he doesn't particularly like us is the thing. He's rather stubborn, and also, everybody's kind of hated us so far, and I don't know, I'm starting to think that's gonna be the theme of the game. Alright, so, Laser Lab. Certainly an interesting stage. Is it good? Well, I mean, we don't have to ride a hover bike, so better than that at least. Anyway though, I mainly want to talk about kinda just the overall, just like the main mechanic of the game, or like the big event, which is to say, the colony crash and our preventing of it. So this entire game is based around gathering parts. So, if you're familiar with Vanilla X5, you probably already know this. However, in the original X5, this entire game is actually based off RNG. Now, obviously, the more parts you get, the more likely you are to succeed at actually stopping the colony crash. Oh, and we got Sigma Virus here. I'll explain that later, because it's an entirely different mechanic that I want to get into more in depth, but yeah. It's RNG, and of course, you can raise your chances by getting more parts, but, you know, gathering up the laser and, let's be honest, the shuttle parts will also be necessary. But yeah, gathering all of those up will make it so that you probably won't get the bad ending. And if you don't get the parts, you probably will get the bad ending. But that doesn't preclude you from just going in right at the start and trying to get the good ending. It is entirely possible to get through the intro stage and immediately 360 no-scope Eurasia out of space and allow yourself to get to the end game. Just before you do anything else outside the intro. I believe I've read that the RNG for that is rolled after the intro stage is complete, so you can basically just save your game, and if you hit it, you hit it. But yeah, no, unless you're in a specific category— oh god, it's like from X4, but bad. Unless you're doing a specific category of speedrun, if you're speedrunning X5, you are probably just going to snipe Eurasia and just let that be that. That is the strat, is to just skip, in essence, the entire game. Yeah, so it's certainly an interesting speedrun that you can just skip essentially all of it. Also, if you really feel like doing that yourself and erasing the time limits, you can still go to stages and collect parts even after that. I mean, collectibles, not just the now useless laser and ship parts. So you're not screwing yourself out of having a lot of HP or anything, and you can still fight the bosses. But yeah, no, you can just go immediately to endgame. As I've been saying, though, that's in vanilla. This hack changes it so that it is a 0% chance of stopping Eurasia if you fire immediately, which means technically you can actually still move on to the end game. It's just with the bad ending instead of the good ending, which probably is not a good idea for a speedrun for reasons we'll get into much later. it's not something you're going to want to do. And of course, if you get all the parts, then it is 100% chance. You can just assure yourself of the good ending. Which is good. Honestly, that just makes more sense. I think it would just be kind of bad to get through the entire game and realize, oh, the game rolled the fuck you, you get the bad ending option. I don't know how, like, actual feasible that is as an actual happening, though. It would be interesting if it actually happened to somebody that way, but yeah, no. As long as you get the parts, you're good. And even if you get most of the parts, there's actually a pretty good chance it'll succeed. Trust me, I did want to make sure I unlocked the bad ending as close to finishing the main stages as I could. Just a bit of pulling of the curtain there. Looking ahead, I did not want to have to repeat that much of this game. I actually do genuinely like this whole central mechanic, at least in of itself. There are some implications connected to it that aren't great, but I think it definitely works very well in terms of atmosphere. Sets a good tone for the game to have this deadline hanging over you. And like I said, if you actually know what's up, it's not actually that scary. You don't really have to stress about it that much, but it's still there, and it still affects how you play the game and how you look at it. I think it's cool, but I do also find it hilarious that you can 360 no-scope Eurasia instantly and just get to the point where you can beat the game. That is very funny. That being said, though, in terms of bad implications of that system, I will mention, of course, you don't have to do the stages in order, as I've said before, but you are strongly encouraged to do them 4 on the left, then 4 on the right. Though even if you weren't, there is, I don't think, any way you can actually go through this game without repeating some of the stages. I don't think there's any, like, start to that thread that allows you to not have to repeat anything. And look, I get it you don't want to have a set order exactly. I definitely think X1 is, it's a great game. It does kind of suck that they almost force you to play Chill Penguin first. Just giving it a definitive first stage, which really goes against kind of the spirit of most of these games. They have intro stages, sure, but after that, you're kind of free to go where you want to. And that sort of applies here, too. Again, you can do the right stages if you want to, but, like, there really isn't any reason for you to, and the game doesn't want you to do that, so you probably won't. It has the mentality of, you do this in a specific order. Anyway, there's virus all over the place, Dr. Firefly. What's up with that? Another Reploid that doesn't like the Maverick Hunters. Weird. I don't feel like we've done anything to get that sort of reputation. Don't know why you're so mad. Professor, now's not the time to argue! Yeah, so I'm actually real infected right now, so, like, I'm not gonna be reasonable. I wouldn't like you anyway, but I'm going to try to kill you now. Let me have my peace. Alright, so Dr. Firefly, strange boss. I guess he's just manipulating light to kind of seemingly teleport around the room. He fires missiles, which aren't an issue at all. His main attack is... Oh, I thought he was going to do it there. He'll probably do it soon, though. It's not really a desperation attack. He just kind of does it when he feels like... No, still not. Is it a desperation attack? I don't think it is. I think he'll do it soon. Yep, there he goes. Okay, so... when his ass starts a-glowing, you basically just have to get into position where you have enough room to dash without, running straight into him. To just dash under the laser before it gets to you. It's definitely an intimidating attack, though. Once you actually know what to do to dodge it, it's extremely simple. I would not say Dr. Firefly is a particularly difficult boss, even though he does just kind of randomly appear and disappear. even as a no-hit run, I didn't think it was that much of an issue. I was able to, clear these without too much of a hassle. Yeah, sure, he clipped me sometimes, but I can't particularly recall being stressed out by this fight in the slightest. Was not one that gave me consternation, it's fine. Look, he was a disgruntled Reploid who just wanted to be left alone to his laser research. Also, look at that, X is finally rank A. So, like, I know X was a lower rank than 0 in the first game, but I feel like by now, you should not have X defaulted to, I think it was B rank in this game at the start. Why is he defaulted to B rank? He has killed Sigma so many times. 4 times, in fact. I don't think he is anything less than, oh god, what's 0 at? PA, GA, something like that. Oh, sorry, I thought you were gonna say Total Distortion, and that would be a much different scene in that laboratory if that's what the Sigma virus did. We need to make good use of Dr. Firefly's laser device! We finished taking the laser device back to the base. Alright, so that is 4 parts, which means we're able to fire a laser at the space colony. So let's save the old game first. Now, obviously, since we got all 4 parts, and you know, this is the hack, the improvements hack, that'll mean we can just blow up the colony and succeed, right? We can save the world and get the final set of levels already. Alright, here we go. It's a bit of an enigma, I'd call it, if it could save us at all. Probably shoots a laser, I think we're fine. It's lasers, how bad could it be? Douglas, aren't you a scientist? Should you really be so flippant about this? Please, I'm flippant because I'm a scientist. This shit's easy. Alright, everything is clear. Get that space station's ass. Triple cut it. I mean, it's sort of the same effect in, picture-by-picture form. Sure. Was there a colony destroying Kaboom? Well, damn. I guess we're not going to be calling it an enigma. Alright, so take that, colony. Ah, geez, everybody feels bad, though. All we could do is just knock it off course. Right, yes, we did have the backup plan, which is the shuttle. Alright, see, now it's time for the set of levels on the right. Alright, just smash a ship into the colony and blow it to smithereens. How big is this shuttle? Just asking. I mean, we destroyed like 62% of the colony, how much more do we need? Alright, so it's like this kind of shuttle. For some reason I was thinking like just a tiny escape shuttle kind of thing, but I feel like if we strapped enough bombs to that, we could probably succeed in destroying the colony. Unfortunately, however, autopilot doesn't work, which seems necessary, but also, yeah, no, it makes sense we would not want to be automatically flying a ship when there's a virus that takes over all technology, just covering the planets. Yeah, let's just have the ship taken over when it's strapped full of bombs and just have it nosedive into the ground and cause Apocalypse 1 before Apocalypse 2 happens 5 minutes later. So yeah, gonna be a little difficult to have a Reploid bail out of that, but We'll cross that bridge when we come to it.